Hi, kindergarten. We have been spending a lot of time talking about how sentences end with a punctuation mark. And we've been learning about this punctuation mark. Does anybody know what this little circle at the end of a sentence is called? A period. Very good. And a period tells a reader to stop. Very good. It tells a reader that the sentence is over and they can stop and take a breath. But boys and girls, because we've been doing such a good job at writing periods at the end of our sentences, I wanted to teach you about two other types of punctuation we can put at the end of our sentences. Sometimes when we get really excited and we're really, have a lot of emotion about something, we would use this thing. It looks like a line and a dot underneath it, and that's called an exclamation point. Can you say that? Exclamation point. Good job. So when we say something like, "Happy birthday, Sam," we would write an exclamation point or an exclamation mark because we would say it excitedly. We wouldn't say, "Happy birthday, Sam." If it was Sam's birthday, we would say, "Happy birthday, Sam," right? So to show that, we authors use an exclamation mark or an exclamation point. Excuse me. The next thing we might write is something called a question. Maybe you're going to ask something in your story. And if you do that, you have to use thing. This is called a question mark. It kind of looks a little bit like a hook and then a dot underneath. And this question says, "Who is it?" So questions ask who, when, what, where, and how. Those are our question words, and why. And so when we ask a question, we have to make a question mark. And when we ask a question, even when we're just talking with people, our voice tends to go up. Like, "Hey, Mom, what are we having for dinner?" Do you hear how my voice went up? Or, "Are we there yet?" I bet you never asked that in the car, have you? You probably have, right? So today, friends, I brought along a book that we're going to read called "Oh No, George." And look, it ends with an exclamation mark. So we would read this, "Oh no, George," because we're kind of excited. And this book is by Chris Hogden. And he is going to write a story about George, this dog. And George, is a lot like my dog, Leia. His human, Harry, is going to go away for a little while and leave George on his own. And George has to decide whether he's going to make a good choice or not such a good choice. And I can totally see my dog, Leia, doing exactly what George does. So if you have a dog, I want you to listen and see if your dog would be like George or if your dog would not be like George, okay? So, "Oh no, George," by Chris Hogden. Harry is going out. "Will you be good, George?" And look, he asked a question, so we have a question mark. And our voice went up a little bit. "Will you be good, George?" asks Harry. "Yes," said George. "I will be very good." "I hope I'll be good," George thinks. George sees something in the kitchen. It's a cake! Look how excited he is. There's an exclamation mark. It's a cake! "I said I'd be good," George thinks, "but I love cake." What will George do? And there's a question mark. Now, do you think George will leave that cake alone and be good? Give me a thumb up. Or do you think George might get into some trouble and do something he shouldn't? Give me a thumb down. Will George be good no, George, maybe not be so good. Let me see those thumbs. Awesome. Excuse me, I have a little tickle in my throat today. Oh no, George! What did he do? That dog ate that cake, didn't he? Bad dog. Oh my, George. What has George seen now? And there's a question, so our voice goes up. What did he see? It's cat. I said I'd be good, George thinks. But I love to play with cat. And here's our question. See our question mark? So our voice is going to go up. What will George do? Is he going to be good and leave the cat alone? Or is he going to maybe pester the cat? What do you think? Oh no, George! And we have an exclamation mark. Now this really reminds me of my dog Leia because she thinks she's playing with my cat Lucy, but it really looks like she's chasing her and trying to eat her. What has George seen now? What is that? Some flowers, right? Some lovely dirt. We're excited. We have an exclamation mark. I said I'd be good, thanks, George, but I love to dig in the dirt. Here's our question. What will George do? Will George leave the dirt alone and be good? Or will George get dirty? Oh no, George, he got in the dirt. Oh. My Leia likes to dig in the dirt too. Harry is back. Hello, Harry. Great to see you. So he's excited. He's back. George, what have you done? You've ruined the place. And how on earth did you eat a whole cake? Oh my goodness, poor George. I said I'd be good, George thinks. I hoped I'd be good, but I wasn't. What will George do? Poor George. He's sad. He's crying. He feels bad. I'm sorry, George says. I want to give you my favorite toy. Aw, look at that. Thank you, George, says Harry. Why don't we go out for a nice walk? Great! George loves to go out. There are so many things to see and do. Uh-oh, George has seen a cake. Here's our question. Will he eat it? No. George goes straight past. Well done, George! Exclamation point. George sees some lovely dirt. Will he have a little dig? No. Well done, George! Exclamation mark. George doesn't even try to chase Cat. Even Cat is surprised. Something smells very interesting. What can it be? It's a trash can. There's nothing George likes more than digging in the trash. What will George do? There's another question mark. Thumbs up if you think George is going to continue to be good and not dig in the trash. Thumbs down if you think George is going to dig in the trash. George? And that's how it ends. We don't know what he did. So you have to decide for yourself. Do you think George was good? Or do you think George maybe was naughty? Oh, I don't know. Trash is pretty tempting to a dog. They like to dig and eat and smell all the things. I don't know if George could resist. All right, friends. So we learned that an exclamation mark shows excitement. We are happy. We are excited. We are super, emotional about something. And then we learn that we have a question mark. That's when we ask who, when, where, what, why, and how. We are asking a question. All right, so I'm trying to move my board so we can see all the things. So friends, I have a sentence that we're going to practice saying a couple of different ways. We're going to practice reading it just as it is. And then we're going to change things up. So this is a rainbow word. What's this word, friends? The. Very good. Let's stretch this word. Sun, like the sun in the sky. The sun, rainbow word, is, and this word is out. So this sentence says, the sun is out. And that's just exactly what it says because there's a period. So we would read this as, the sun is out. Can you say that with me? Here we go. The sun is out. Very good. That's just a regular period, like a statement. Now, friends, let's pretend it has been raining for days and we have had to be inside. We haven't been able to go outside and play. And finally, one day you wake up and the sun is out. You would say it like this. You would change this to an exclamation mark and we would say, the sun is out, because we're excited because we haven't seen the sun in a few days. So let's go ahead and say it with an exclamation mark. Ready? The sun is out. Very good. All right, friends, maybe the sun keeps going in and out. There's clouds and then sun and clouds and sun. And maybe you're confused and you say, the sun is out? And you're sort of asking it like a question. Okay? Let's say it like that. The sun is out? Like we're questioning it. The sun is out? So do you see how three different punctuation marks make us say it three different ways? This says, the sun is out. This says, the sun is out. And this says, the sun is out. So do you hear the difference in each way we write that? All right, friends, today in your journals, I want you to either write a sentence that has an exclamation point or a sentence that is asking a question. I don't want any regular sentences with periods today. I want us to try something new. So you can either write about something you love and be super excited about it, or ask a question about it. I want you to write about something you can do and be super excited about it, or ask a question about it. I want you to write about something you know and be super excited, or ask a question. Or I want you to write about something that happened in the past and be super excited, or ask a question. All right? So your journal writing today is another free choice story about something you love, something you can do, something you know, or something that happened in the past. You're either going to write it with excitement and an exclamation mark, or you're going to write it as a question with who, where, what, when, why, and how, and where. I don't know if I said where. And then use a question mark at the end. All right, friends? So that's what you're going to do today, and then draw a detailed picture. All right? All right, friends, have a great writing time, and I can't wait to see what you write in your journals today. All right, friends, have fun.